So I congratulate everyone with the day of trees, and we're continuing the work
Да,
of
Александр, все видно.
Mr. Altshuler. And so can you see my presentation? Alexander Tokarev, specialist on trees of the first level. Our company deals with training of mass production enterprises. We are teaching them on trees tools, and also we are consulting them on the tool trees system. So within the challenge, within the scope of my work, I've been accumulated really good experience, and I would like to share it. And it touches on the issues which we faced when we try to implement trees exactly in industrial enterprise. And also I would share some methods of the solutions. So the first issue, actually, it's not a problem, but I would like to say that trees or tips at enterprise brings economic benefits. So when we decrease self-cost and increase safety and etc., so with which it's rather difficult to deal when we work with lean management. So here we understand that solutions are being taken under the influence of emotions without any analytic calculations and looking into the task precisely. And that's why the one of the serious parts of trees is analytics, and absence of analytics brings to inadequate decisions. That's why trees will help us to clarify the situation and the tasks, but until emotions are intact, the person is not administrating the process correctly. You see, the reason of it that the person is rather peculiar organism, very complicated one. And the second one is the lack of standardized information collection procedures for non-standard data. You see, trees tools are not like lean management tools. So if it's not standardized, that's why people use it as they want, and sometimes it's rather unsuccessful. So then you can see the example at the presentation. So my suggestion how to collaborate. So at first we have to collect objective data, preferably without employee involvement, through automated systems for emotions not to influence on getting results. So in some kind of a case, some kind of a means to put it in standards, all those analytic procedures. After that, at least they would decrease the level of influence of emotion involvement on taking decisions. Then you see the employees of industrial enterprises, they sometimes lack competencies when it comes to trees application. So most probably we will have some to have some knowledge which are beyond the competencies of usual employees on trees programs. Those skills are not there on the constant basis. That's why we have to find some methods of solutions. If we talk about lack of time, so this decision will be rather administrative in nature. For example, allocate additional time for employees to conduct research. So here solutions will be purely in administrative nature for the employees to work with our tools. So we will have to look for these workers at the enterprise with the uh, compliant competencies, and it will build up the staff, the team, and then people will find out that there is some person in their company who is able to make machine learning. And also, as per administrative decisions, to look for external contractors, it's not just purely bookkeeping or uh, something like that, but we're looking for some kind of procurements, how to implement the tools. Also, absence of personal motivation would decrease the efficiency. Alexander talked about it already in the previous report. That's why I won't talk about that alone for a long time. So also we found out very interesting moment. People are scared to get something new on board. So uh, that's why we use these tools, and they don't know whether they would have good outcome or not. Not to have good kind of bad face in the end. And of course, there is some administrative risk. If the person knows that he will be punished because of his fail, so most probably he won't get his project on board. And it could be easily explained by the nature of humans and the nature of hierarchical structures. So the head in hierarchy should be the smartest one, and everyone else just execute his orders. So what we would suggest as the remedy for this situation? At first, tips or trees could be used. Of course, it's a bit fearful to take new things and to deal with new things. But when person get more knowledge, he will have more surety and confidence. And of course, we have to encourage taking risks. And also pretty funny moment with trees or without it, specialists, they could find solutions, and then typically they relax and they cease further exploration. However, this solution could be not the single one and not the optimal one. And of course, it's been explained also with human psychology. They think that their solutions is the only one and that's it. However, in the real life, it's vice versa. So if you have several solutions, most probably one will be really implemented. So what we're doing, we're making the test conditions more restrictive. While goal setting, we exclude some simple, obvious solutions, or we highlight secondary issues immediately after finding a solution. And we show to people, you see that this, and that, it will be not in good world, so in good light, and people think that they're on. And there's another issue which was mentioned by Alexander. Our methodological tools are pretty labor consumption, has pretty high labor consumption, and it requires significant time for their application. So here we propose the solution.
Александр, 5 минут осталось.
Мы предлагаем решение автоматизировать какие-то методические инструменты, те, которые можно автоматизировать.
So we suggest automating some of the tools to create some simplified versions which are tailored to address a particular task, for example, to decrease
задача
the
на
production
повышение
costs. So this
качества,
is
а
a
вот
roadmap.
задача
And
на
then there is a
устранение
task to raise
неисправностей.
quality, to increase
Это
quality,
может
or to
сократить
remove
вот этот
defects,
водоем. То
so
есть
which can reduce this labor
понятное
intensity.
дело, что с понижением
And
сложности задач,
of
но во
course,
многих
when you
случаях этого
decrease
вполне
a
достаточно.
complexity of a
Во
task,
всяком
in
случае, у нас
many
уже есть
cases,
какой-то
this is sufficient because in
минимальный набор
many
инструментов для решения
ways we
типовых
already have
задач.
the minimum
Ну,
toolkit to
автоматизация у
address
нас
those typical tasks.
Может выглядеть
On automation,
вот таким образом,
this one
например.
we
То
will
есть, если
skip.
у нас
Now
есть
looking
какие-то
at
элементы
automation.
системы,
So we
есть
might
какой-то
have some
рекомендуемый прием,
elements of a
и дальше можно
system, we have a
чисто
recommended
машинным
methods, and
методом
then we can use
сгенерировать, скажем так, либо идеи, либо
machine-based
задачи.
methods to
То
generate
есть
ideas or
какую-то
tasks
рутинную часть этого
to be
процесса
able to
аналитического или решательного убрать и передать машине.
remove some routine and
Над этим мы
delegate this activity to a
работаем.
machine. And this is what we are working on at the moment.
Собственно, на этом я закончу.
That's
Пожалуйста, ваши
it.
вопросы.
I'm done here. Do you have any
Спасибо,
questions?
Александр.
Thank you, Alexander.
Так, чат сейчас посмотрим.
I'm
В
going to
чате
check
вопросов нету.
our chat box. We
Коллеги,
don't have
если
any questions in the chat.
да, Марат
Dear
Семенович, может,
colleagues,
вопрос,
or
пожалуйста.
Marat
Да,
Semyonovich,
пожалуйста,
just
вопрос.
if you have a specific question, not a comment.
Спасибо
Yes,
большое за
sure.
выступление. Очень
Thank you for
актуальные
your
были
input
поставлены
and your
сами
contribution. You have
ситуации. И спасибо
outlined
за
very
предложение
practical
путем
and
решения.
relevant
На
cases, and
16
thank you for
слайде вот
giving
я
us some
сталкивался с
heads up
такой
to
ситуацией,
address
когда
such issues.
есть доминирующая идея, и дальше
I have
после
seen
этой идеи уже
situations
не
of
доминирует.
dominating
Я
ideas when there is
такой
no
образ
idea after the
показываю. Это
preliminary
как
idea. So this is an image we are
кукушонок,
creating,
который
which is
яйцо
when a
в
small
кукушке.
bird, when there is
Кукушонок, когда
an
рождается,
egg
он начинает выбрасывать все
cackling,
яйца
and there is
и
a bird cackling,
конкурентов
and
по отношению
it just
к тем, что
throws
там
away all
везде
the
находится.
eggs,
Возможно, варианты,
beating
вот,
their
как образ
competitors. So there are
работает
possible
механизм.
ways, alternatives. So as an
И
image,
очень
this might
ярко,
be
очень ярко.
very,
Так и
very
происходит в голове.
instrumental. This is a
Александр, у
very
меня,
vivid image.
да,
So
у меня
thank you.
вопрос.
This is how it happens
А,
indeed in our minds.
В чате так и
Alexander, I
происходит.
have
У
a
меня вопрос
question. We
следующего
still don't have
характера.
any
Вы
questions,
написали,
but
что
I do
нужно
have one. So
автоматизировать
you've
инструменты
written that
TRIS.
we need to automate trees tools.
Какие инструменты TRIS
What
вы
are
бы
the trees
начали бы или
tools
уже начали
you
автоматизировать в
might
первую очередь?
automate first and foremost?
На данном этапе, вот сейчас я занимаюсь автоматизацией перехода в таблицу.
At this stage,
Мы знаем
we
проблему
are
таблицы, там всего 39
focusing on a
параметров,
number of
каждый из
issues.
них
We have
гораздо
39
больше.
parameters
Вот как
in the
от
table,
параметра,
while in practice we have
с которым
many
работает
more of
наш
them.
решатель, перейти к
Our
параметрам,
task
которые есть в
solver
таблице. Вот
needs to
первая
work
задачка,
with the
которая сейчас
parameters
стоит.
in the
Но дальше
table,
я
which is possibly the
собираюсь
first
автоматизировать и
priority
другие
task.
вещи. Ну,
Then after
например,
that, I will try to
аналитическую
automate
часть,
other
когда
things. For
мы
example, the analytical part,
собираем
when
данные по
we
задаче, чтобы их
gather the
расставить
data
по
about the
нужным
task,
полочкам,
to
и
put it
уже
to
чтобы
dedicated
было
shelves,
удобно
to be able
применять
to
следующие инструменты ТРИС, ну, тоже
use other trees
причинно-следственный анализ.
tools, for example,
Мгм.
cause and
Я
effect
начал сейчас с
analysis.
решательных инструментов, то есть это
I've
таблицы,
started with
приемы
this
и, наверное, стандарты
solution-based
попадут, потому что там
tools,
тоже достаточно все
methods,
более-менее
and also adding
алгоритмизировано уже.
standards to this basket, because I believe that
Спасибо.
this is already something which is
Ну и
already based
вдогонку,
on
да,
algorithms. Thank you
какую
so much.
ключевую или там ключевые проблемы вы видите на пути к
What are the key
автоматизации
problems, the
инструментов?
key
Ну,
issues
только коротко, у
you
нас мало
see to automate tools? Because indeed,
Там проблем
this is
начать
important, but you have only 1 minute.
Ну, все-таки поконкретнее, какие все-таки ключевые проблемы могут возникнуть при автоматизации
Well,
тех
it
или
can be an
иных
issue to
инструментов?
describe that in a
Пожалуй,
nutshell.
это самое
What are
начало
the
работы
possible
над
issues?
задачей, когда
Just
человек
basic
описывает
examples.
задачу,
So possibly
чтобы
this is only the first part of
перейти вот от
this
этого
path to
свободного
describe
описания к
the
какой-то
task. So moving from
структуре.
this
Вот здесь у нас, я
free-flown
думаю, будут самые большие проблемы,
description to
потому
a
что когда
structure,
уже
this might be
структура есть,
really
дальше
the most
уже мы
challenging part.
алгоритмами
When
это
we
все
have the structures, then using the
достаточно
algorithms,
быстро
we will be able
кодируем.
to
Получается
address it
решение
through
там, а вот
our further
задача как
activities,
бы
gaining the
переход
solutions.
от живой ситуации вот
The
к вашей
challenge
ситуации, то, что варились там
of
первые шаги,
switching from the
вот
practical
я думаю,
situation
здесь
to
больше
our
всего
real-life
будет
situation, this might
потому
be
что
the
бывает,
most problematic
мы
part
и все что угодно, там
in
чат
that.
GPT можно попробовать
It
применить,
can
то есть
be
очень много вариантов.
related to the use of
Спасибо
ChatGPT,
за
so we can
ответ.
try
Спасибо,
ChatGPT. Thank you
Александр.
for your
У
response.
нас следующий